they did it now. You understand? But if they didn't get what they want, they will run away like Jesus' disciples ran out of Jerusalem now when Jesus was arrested. And even if they catch one of them, they will say, no, just like Peter. Hey, I don't know him. You are mistaken. That is what they will tell you. We've seen this.
Another question, aristocrat. Could we benefit of that? Could we be wrong and they are right? What if there is something they know that we don't know, and they believe they are following the right step, and we are the wrong ones?
Now, there is something I will say. If there are anybody, I've told you I don't know critical thinker. I don't know why you want me to continue to acknowledge them. I can't acknowledge them. So your question, rephrase it. Rephrase your question. I don't know any critical thinker. It's just a name that is like.
Okay, let me remove critical. Okay, let me not use critical thinker. Let me go the Lego team, the Baba's Lego team now. Let's put it that way.
You can say Baba's team or Ekpe. I know those.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right, now we can find out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stuff that we thought they should have done, but they didn't do it. Now there are a group of people. Who are the TikTokers. I believe they relate to Sanshit, right? But then there are things that we've seen that the Sanshit is not doing, right? But these people.
Wait, who is Sanshit? Who is Sanshit?
The barrister, the way Paparano called the son.
No, not Paparano. Don't go and do what he said
if I call him Sanshit, they will send me letter. So which one should I call him now?
No. Nobody can send you letter.
Don't say their son.
Okay, their son.
You can say they are legal person.
Okay,
nobody can send you letter. You are not maligning name in any way. You are only referring. Does the man say he's not the lawyer to Baba? He is now.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. So there are things that we've seen, that we've spotted that these people are not doing, right? So we on one side, like we aligned that there is a lot going on there. Now there is another side, I don't want to use the critical thinker, there's another side that they don't want to agree with what we've seen. Now I'm looking at it like, okay, maybe we are wrong. They know some things that we don't know. Could they be the ones that are actually smart and we are the dumb ones? Because if we can spot all of these lapses here and they are not seeing it, and they believe they are still working on the right.
Mr. Tormentor, why are you tormenting us this afternoon? Why are you tormenting us this afternoon? Because if break the silence can use his own letter heading to engage with the police, use the same letter heading to send a plea, a letter, an open letter to Basharun Jagaban, right? Aristocrat is just right about the fact that if you have a legal service taking place and you have a legal team, we'll probably want to recognize a lawyer or a son and a named person. GoFundMe, you set it up. None of these people, as we know them, would have been allowed to use their alias to set up GoFundMe. So all the trustees were named as in their said name, their name that they were given at birth. So until we stop using pseudonyms, labels, tags to engage and then believe that we have something of impact or importance, until these said people can come out and reveal their names, that we can then go, like chairman, for instance, we know his full name. I'm sure people know Crunchy Queen's full name, as well as Supreme. And those are the people that we can trust to believe that if they can put their names to anything, then they are sure that they don't want to come and deceive the public. And yes, if they've done something wrong, they will then apologize. And we know we're dealing with. It's not chairman we're dealing with. It's not Supreme Iron Lady we're dealing with. It's not Crunch Queen we're dealing with. We're dealing with their names at birth. Whether it's Ngozi, whether it's this or whatever the case may be. So if you have a bunch of people that are dispersed all over the place, we then have a situation. I have a garden. I went to the garden center. They gave me a mixture of all this manure and whatever the case may be. I brought it out. I paid for it. I kind of surfaced the entire soil with it. Few weeks later, all my plants died. So if I then go back to the garden center, which of the manure am I going to now blame when they now tell me we concocted 6 together and we called it critical thinker? Who is critical thinker then at that point? No sort of like movement motives. There is no manifestation of any form of what can I put it? Mission statement. Absolutely nothing. We have to stop dropping these labels and then bring 2 people together and then just call them small yam. Small yam is going to do a very big deal. And in that small yam, inside it, there is yourself, there's aristocrat, there's Richie, there's the IT guy. Who are these people? Are they ghosts? Are they people? What mandates has anyone given them, or what mandate have they put together to drop for us to believe that they have something of substance to offer us? How do we engage with the critical thinker? Are we engaging with biobillions? Are we engaging with barrister, whatever the case may be, or pork yoke? So we need to drop this critical thinkers situation and let Joseph Aloba be Joseph Aloba, and let Joseph Aloba then tell us who his advocacies are. And if he says he's got a legal team, let him. We know the names of the prominent ones that have actually signed a contract with Joseph Aloba. Otherwise, the questions are credible questions. And then, like Yorubas will say, ibitati shiri, Latin moto. You know, where we're joking, a beer parlor and all that kind of stuff. If it goes wrong, Pork York can say, no, nothing to do with me. Biobillions can say, I wasn't there. This one will say, it was done on the green app. I wasn't one of them. But collectively, we want to engage and believe this group of a bunch of rascals I've got something tangible to bring to the cause of justice. That's my take on that particular matter. So carry on, the tormentor. Stop tormenting us, please. Thank you. Are we still alive? Are we still active? Where's Richie? Where's Tormento? Good afternoon. Susie for Justice. Which name is Susie using now? Because people keep changing their names. But I know about Susie for Justice. Good afternoon, my lady. It's good to be on the same panel as you this afternoon. Yes, I'm about to choke. But otherwise, welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe you just want to use the opportunity to speak then.
Yes, I will.
I'll mute my mic.
Aristo left, and I listened to him. You see, I don't even know. You see, when we talk about this critical...
Momento, warn your steps. Stop bringing me down.
You see, critical, idiotic human beings. They are all critical only. Critical barawos. I don't even know what name to call them. They group themselves. They know exactly what they were doing. Like the sniper asked, do they know something that we don't know? Yes, of course. They know something that we don't know. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. You see, right from the day go, based on the video of Baba Mohbad that was played this morning, you can tell right from the day go, the person in question that we are all been fighting for the past 2 years now, getting to 2 years now, the family in question, they don't give a rat about him. They don't care about him. They don't know his worth. And that's the reason why the beginning of whole thing started the way he started. These two families, they were concerned on the little things that Mohbad left behind. They never knew that Mohbad was this important to the society, you know. But at the end of the day, still, they don't care. So, to me, there's no way we can talk about Mohbad's case and don't have the government drag into this case. You see, there's one thing to say that the family say they have accepted their fate. And there's another thing for the government to say no. Based on the cry out of the government, based on the cry out of the citizen across the world, not only Nigerians, across the world, the death of Mohbad is suspicious. So, we are going to down the family who says that they have accepted the fate that Mohbad's death is natural. You understand? Government can go overboard and say, no, this is not good for the image of our country. This is not good for the image of our system. You understand? They can damn the system, the family, and say, okay, let's go overboard, go against the family's will, and do the right thing, you know, for the country. You understand? Because the level that people stood up for Mohbad's justice is more than the family. It's more than the government to okay, we are going to work with the family. So, what am I trying to say? Right from day one, based on the way the government assumed Mohbad, you can tell these people is never serious. Not because of the family, not because of the way the family have accepted, oh, God give it and God take it. No, the government itself, the Lagos state government and the current region of Nigerian Police Force, right from the beginning, the writing is boldly written on the wall that they are not planning to get justice for Mohbad. So, are we going to say Aristo? Are we going to say, oh, we shouldn't blame government, or is the way the parents or the way the family present the case to the government, that's why the government have treated the case that way? No. The government is there to fight crime. If the family happen to be the one that have the hands in the death of Mohbad, are they going to go free because they present the case to the government the way they present it? No. Then the question, why? If the government is not ready to go further to investigate the death of Mohbad, why do they exhume Mohbad? If they want to go according to what the family has presented to them and they don't want to move further to investigate what killed Mohbad, why do they exhume Mohbad? I'm going to stop at there. Let somebody else pick up from me. That's my question to the government. And come what may, in 10 years, in 5 years, in 3 years to come, I am going to ask the Nigerian government, okay? I am going to ask the Lagos state government, whoever that is going to be in charge, these questions we are going to keep on asking. Not Baba Mohbad, not Wumi. We'll ask the government this question and let them ask the family of Mohbad what happened to Mohbad. Because this is government case. They assume Mohbad to find the cause of the death, what killed him. But in this aspect, government has failed us, the citizen of Nigeria. So I'm going to leave at that. I'm going to stop at that. Somebody can pick it up from me. Government is the biggest enemy for me in Mohbad case, not the critical morons, critical idiotic human beings, critical unconquerabilities fools, 419, critical hungers. I don't even know what to call them. Let me leave it. Thank you, guys.
Nice one. Critical sinkers and stinkers. But the question you raised is a credible one. Some of the things I've actually said earlier, and that is that if the government heeds to public plea and they exhume the body, you would have actually expected the best thing to do instantly would have been autopsy and toxicology, which God knows, how many months that actually took over a year for them to lie to us about where it went, where it did not go, and what have you. These guys, these maggots, we need to stop talking about them. They haven't got anything useful to offer. These guys are still living in 18 months ago, 19 months ago, 12 months ago, simply because their narrative is still the same, or narratives are still the same. When they bring it up, they are unapologetic. They want to go on platform. They cannot even put their thoughts together because they are still living in 18, 19 months ago. People have sat with this Joseph Aloba. They've misled him. They've emptied the coffers. Their school fees is being paid. Rent is being paid. They've lapio on it. They've done threesome on it. They've done Abuja on it. I mean, if they could do London on it, they would have done US and London on it. I mean, these are useless people. People who don't actually have any dream, don't have any hope in life. And suddenly they stumbled over a situation where they can collect coins. They are collecting coins on social media. They haven't kind of aligned themselves for greatness in life. They don't have any dreams. They don't have any format they can put in place that can manifest goodness for them in their lives, other than to sit and latch on the death of a 26-year-old man whose life was taken suspiciously. And you just sit there. And if you had actually advised Joseph Aloba then, and when Joseph Aloba and his comrade Muyiwa came out and gave us the supposed exhibit of how they spend the money, and we can see things are erased all over it. You want to account. You are erasing, tipexing. We're seeing green, we're seeing red, we're seeing yellow. These people are bipolar. We don't know which day is green, which day is yellow, which one is red. We don't know whether it's Pomo that they bought here. We don't know whether it's another Tensum. We don't even know, allegedly, that they've kind of processed so many pregnancy termination. Drinking Gulda, drinking Guinness, Aloba, and all that kind of stuff in Abuja. Doing nonsense in the name of the son of you, Joseph Aloba. And you allow these children, these kids, this smelly ass, stinking breath, up to no good rascals to mislead you from the inception. The ones around you, Darosha was pushing you left, right, and center. CTC has it all. All sort of allegation against you. Wumi, who is your daughter-in-law, I have no shred of respect for you. No, anyone would have actually thought maybe you toasted her and you want to take her to Rioki to go and give her some backslide. Maybe when she no agree, disrespect then came into it. We would have actually thought that to be the case. I wouldn't say that is the case. I mean, this is nonsense. The man can't speak for himself. We listened to his audio. We saw the video. It was the first interview he gave. At that time, He wasn't looking for justice, but he looked confused. He looked really confused. And then right now, he's not looking for justice. Why should he look for justice? Because the justice that the public wants, he's going to get him locked up. And he's got the critical stinkers and sinkers that have spent all the entire money in GoFundMe with him, running helter-skelter right now. Because if you do a thorough forensics of the incoming and outgoing, especially outgoing of money from GoFundMe, if we have Pokyok's account in it, if we have Barrister Laide's account in it, if we have Muiwa's account in it, if we have various accounts in Nigeria in it. And that's the reason why they shaded everything. We requested, show us the dashboard. You will be able to see clearly, clearly. On these dates, this money, small or big, went out to XYZ. And these critical thinkers that now realize that the account in which they received the money is in their own said name. When they gave them 7 days and they gave them names and their surname, it's on the account. They can't erase that. You can't go into GoFundMe and go and erase that. GoFundMe will give it to the authorities in America. FBI and CIA, whichever one that is responsible, will come after your asses. So critical thinkers, we don't know how many you guys are, but we know the prominent ones are Pokyok, Bio Bastard, Bio tí ò fi fẹ́ rí ilé ayé ẹ̀ kò fi ṣe nǹkan tó dá nílé ayé ẹ̀. Bio tí ò fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kú tó lọ ń gba owó ní ikú gbígbóná tó pa ọmọ ẹlòmíì. And the host of the rest of barristers that are making coffee, calling themselves bloody barristers. These are like non-starters. These are no hopers. These are people that are in the West, the ones that are in Nigeria, that are lost in life. They lost a very long time ago because even their lineage, if you go into the history of their lives, they have picked up the curse. Oh, the curses, the generational curses. Every single one of them have picked up these curses. And that's the reason why they can't sort of like be congruous in putting themselves together. These idiots cannot actually go on a platform. Everybody open their camera and actually say something sensible. Otherwise, they are now coming to platforms now. It seems as if you are coming to plea. We don't know you. We've never really engaged with you. You've, retracted yourself from the whole common sense process. And you've gone to build a group of maggots, a group of vermins, a group of leeches, a group of parasites. And then you want to give yourself a label. Critical thinkers, sinkers, they are sinking. No brain, nothing sensible to present to anybody. And when BioBillion comes to speak, we're not sure whether his medication is expired, whether he needs to drink some vodka or some VSOP brandy to inject him and wake him up. We don't even know the guy. We don't know whether he's just waking up or he needs some sleep. If he sleeps, he wakes up, he's not talking any sense. And it's just drenching us in his spit, his saliva. Everywhere talking shit, talking crap. I rest my mic, Daddy. Around people, you don't sue me. I'm fed up of these critical thinkers, and I blame Joseph Aloba for bringing himself to a level, stooping so low, with the view that these people will allow him to cover up. But forensics, whether it's a money account, whether it's phone, whether it's anything they're doing on this bloody green app, that they are doing nonsense, doing lapio-pio, going in there, using the public money to remove a pregnancy, going in there to go and drink Guinness and Gulda. I mean, the things that people do, you tend to want to look at it and actually think that with a bit of civility, we engage, we imbibe. And when we imbibe and the sponsor So our imbibement would have actually been that we worked for our money. It would actually mean that we've crusade legally. It actually means we can get stipends. Pork yoke that is phoning peers for peers to water his account with money to buy ordinary shot of brandy in a nightclub. And is the president of the critical thinker. I rest my mic.
Man, I don't know where we are though, but I think I was hearing critical thinkers. Well, just like Aristocrat said, I don't know any critical thinker. If any of them belong there, then let them identify officially. Then we can address them directly. But if not, then we want to presume that there's nothing of such. Rather, they're only abusing that word, or as the case may be. So I think that's that. So now what we need to do is to check. Let's check ourselves. Is there any way forward? Because a lot of people have their hope, just like we have in the religion system. Some people believe in juju. Some people believe in Ogun. Some people believe in Jesus. Some people believe in Allah. People believe in Obatala, Ogun, Shango. And others. And so in this case, a lot of people believe. Some still believe in Baba. Anything Baba says. Baba say no more justice. Some people are very, very okay with it. They do not care. They just say, okay, thank you, we agree. Then we all go back home like that. While some people, they believe in, some people believe in African TV, if I can say. Some people believe in African TV. Anything African TV says. If African TV says, oh yeah, off your TikTok, delete your TikTok and never come back, they will do so. And some people believe in Yomi. Yomi says, Odara. He says, Ekule. And while some people believe in, which other comrades do you have in this justice? So just like that. But
Pierce Foundation.
Some people believe in Pierce Foundation. If Pierce Foundation say,
Olórí Ẹbí Foundation.
Olórí Ẹbí is not a comrade. It's only a
IT Guy Foundation.
Don't discount Olórí Ẹbí. They are our biggest donors.
No. You might be donating.
The benevolence of their factory of printing money on social media is actually goes Yomi to probably buy another land and probably saving enough money to buy his Range Rover in the end.
Honestly, see.
Because if you put common sense into the process and you don't engage with Olori Ebi's platform, and you believe that people should stop contributing money, they will carry on contributing money. So what are we going to achieve? That's one of the major problems, is that people do this donation blindly, and they are willing to carry on doing it. Actually, they're even doing it to rub dirt in our eyes.
And do you understand?
There's a sense of defiance in the way these people pull themselves together, and they go to other platforms, listen in on what this grown tells you, and then counters it, and then just do something contrary to it, just to say, let's pain them, let's pepper them. Just like when they decided that they're going to put money together to get Yomi a public lawyer. If Yomi is a foundation and has a foundation that doesn't even have lawyers. Come on, if Yomi is collected, the amount of money is collected from the public. Even if you put a public lawyer on the bench, at least you give him stipend for actually being idle on the bench, doing nothing. But then you should be in a position to be able to bring one of the biggest sons in Nigeria to the case, to say that, okay, this your platform is really doing it. You understand? And then you will end up in some other situation where you're trusting people to give you nothing. A guy who has nothing to deliver, we're trusting him to give us something. A guy who has used his hand to, well, maybe lie to us or all sort of fabrications that is actually delivered to us has nothing to offer. Well, has he run away for the second time? He doesn't even have to run away. Maybe this time around, no one is threatening him and he's gone on holiday, rightfully so, because he's put a lot of effort in shaking the table of the seats, shaking the table of no delivery, delivering pizza, empty boxes of pizza with no pizza in it. Going to a Chinese restaurant, they deliver you with rice and chicken that is not cooked. That has not been cooked. And then they want to charge you full money for it. If not double the money. And these are shady things that actually happens in the course of, someone giving you a step-by-step a movement itinerary of all these bits and pieces just to set up the next collection. And when people refuse to donate money this time around to this break the silence movement and all that kind of stuff, he disappeared. He tried on various platforms, Olori Ebigo, it was attacked everywhere. This guy was attacked everywhere, no more donation. And he got upset. When he composes himself and puts himself together, we don't know which proper excuse he's going to give us. They want to buy my son, or they want to kidnap my son. And these are the kind of things we've dealt with in the course of 18, 19 months. People come and go. African TVs come and gone. Yomi is come and gone. Olori Ebe is still there, lying to himself, getting his 10% on every time money is donated on his platform, not allowing money to be donated directly to people.
I heard another set of foundation is preparing to come up again. So
foundation don't become water now.
Yes,
foundation is now pure water. It don't become just like petition. It was petition some times ago. Donation became water, and then now NGO becomes water.
Money, now water. Money, now water.
On this movement, it is. African television, African television, look, African TV, you need to come up. We're going to keep talking about you, just like you, everybody will keep talking about me. And I don't give a hoot, if you know what I mean. I just don't give a rat's class.
Every NGO is becoming a justice fighter, and they never delivered.
See,
the ones that came before now delivered nothing, zero. And we sing their praises. We praise them for all their speeches. We praise them for their oratory. We praise them for enlightening us with magnified voice, as in like amplified voice. And out of the amplification, there is still no substance to every oratory that these people put together. We love their voice, we love their submission, we love their speeches, we love all their big ideas, but nothing to deliver. Zero up till now.
See, the actual guy, what got me angry is that this whole justice started on a very good note.
African television wants to come up, Kunle.
Okay. Now, the justice for mobile started on a good note, and we had a couple of people who genuinely came on board, and they were actually trying to do their bits, contribute whatever they can, get legal team, get assistance, this and that. That was when also we had how can I put it? The Bankole and Smith that were actually supposed to participate fully in the inquest, in the process, but unfortunately, they could not go through. But don't forget that there was a very serious frustration on different platforms against Bankole and Smith. Even those that do not know them, or do not even know their chambers, or do not even know their names, or can spell their names, or have even seen them before, or even heard of any of the case files that they've handled before. They backlash them. They call them all sort of names and this and that. But something came to me as a news a few days ago when they said some certain persons needed public lawyer, and these same platforms that blacklisted and backlashed Bankole and Smith as a public lawyer are the ones trying to shop for a public lawyer for an insane reason. Because how can you be that kind of hypocrite? You said there's no need for public lawyer. Public lawyer for what? But that was their words then. Which kind of useless public lawyer? This and that. But now, it's not surprising that you are the one now campaigning to get a public lawyer. Is it that you have changed your notion all of a sudden?
Good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon, IT guy. Susie, my darling, how are you? Let me tell you, first thing, IT guy, AFTV no they go anywhere. AFTV they can't pay. Yoruba say agbo tota the saying. Olomagbarawa kosalo, AFTV osalo. Our latest project is to flush out the Nigerian police mafia ring that is being used to intimidate, to harass, to distract justice for Mohbad. That is a 250 million naira lawsuit that will be started. The hearing will start on May 22nd. So hold on, my children, they make noise. Hold on.
Did I just hear 200?
I did hear. Wait. I did hear. So just that comment say people come and go. We know they go anywhere. They work on the ground. The next thing we're working on is making sure that all those people in the house are properly, legally petitioned and investigated. So I be like, would they go anywhere? I they go court this month. I did Nigeria for how many months now? 7, 8 months. I never feel go back to my base. I be like, would they go anywhere? When I tell you, say, justice for Mohbad, it has become a lifestyle. We are going to live this life either on TikTok, Facebook, real life, courthouse, courtroom. Some go jail. Maybe me go jail, I don't know. But some go jail on justice for Mohbad. So nobody they wrong go anywhere. Now, this public lawyer factor, you said it earlier on Kunle that this, if African TV say go, some people will go. If this person say go, so everybody is factionized. Everybody get their own division, and the Bible says it is okay. Apostle Paul said it is okay to have division because by having division, you'll be able to know who's telling the truth and you'll be able to check each other. So me no get problem who they with Bingo and who they with Jossy or Kangaroo. Be anywhere you want to be as long as you're fighting for justice. And if we find out that you're not fighting for justice, now we go still fish you out, we go flush you out, and we go talk about you. I want to apologize to some people that for at least 3 months, they kept me silent. I was hearing voices. Don't talk about Yomi. Talk about Yomi. Don't talk about this. Talk about that. Don't go every platform. Go this platform. I'm sorry. I apologize to Mohbad that I've been a little bit silent. But even the spirit of Mohbad knows that Agbo Tota is saying I had to listen to all the voices while I'm filing legal battles. AFTV no good, AFTV no good. AFTV beat Joseph Aloba for court. AFTV no good, AFTV no good. AFTV arrest Yomi. Yomi is on bail officially as we speak. I'm not saying it to be boastful. AFTV no good, AFTV no good. AFTV they do their own thing. AFTV no come me to say donate.
Hold on, please. I didn't get the last part. You say AFTV arrested Yomi.
My brother, I be radio, I know they rewind. The screen record, people heard me.
There's no need of rewinding African TV.
So back to what I'm saying. AFTV bad. None of you can say AFTV put up any account number. Yes, a few good men and sisters who understood the pain have been able to say, bro, somebody sent me 50K 3 days ago. I think 2 people sent money on the issue of Bamishe. They were congratulating AFTV. I didn't ask for it. There was no donation. They felt like, man, You really did this and you did it codedly. So we are working. It's all the noise that is distracting us. You know, when they spend millions, they run around to defend stupid petition where them bring up, you know, to gag us, to gag me from speaking. And they succeeded in gagging me to some extent, but I'm back up. You know, I've put my own legal checkmates in place. You know, I don't check them. I don't arrest who. They don't bail who, you know. So we're doing our thing. So FTV not go anywhere, my brother IT. You're still my number one brother. So tell them, say your brother they alive. Your brother they gallant. You know, I gallant gone even more than before. Because now we know who the enemies are. We know the madam demons. We won't take glory for where they did not walk. We know them go do t-shirt, then go create foundation. Everybody clap for AFTV. Now me be the father of foundation. Now me bring foundation to justice for Mohbad. Because of me, one fellow for Igba Foundation. Because of me, one colleague.
African
You know,
stop right there, sir.
I'm not priding myself, my sister. I'm not, no. Susie, let me correct that. Susie, let me correct that. There is a proverb that says, the lizard, Abinagama lizard that fell from the Roko tree says, if nobody praises him, he will nod his head. I'm nodding my head because it has come to a point where even me begin to realize some of the things that I did naturally without even effort, effortlessly, just being me. You know, when they create foundation, I want hijack foundation, I want come out African TV from Bamishe case where we don't slam dunk.
Yeah.
We don't play the game.
African TV. The sky is big for flights to fly everywhere, to airplane to fly in the air.
Susan, you're talking? Susan, sorry, let me correct that. You're talking from a place of common sense. You're talking from a place of open mind. You said the sky is big. If the sky is so big, Delta Flight 901 can fly. Continental can fly. Why Delta can't enter continental airspace? Why then they enter my airspace when they know say the sky is big? Why then they won't take my flight number, my journey? They take glory. They pride themselves. Say, oh, your first outing, your first foundation, you have done this. What did you do? Did you feed the Bamishes when they needed money?
It's okay, African TV. Can you move on for that stuff?
Mama, that day we did now.
African TV, let me quickly ask you a question, please.
Move on for that one.
Let me ask you a question. I understand that there are very many factions in this process, and some of them, or maybe a few of them, might mean well, while some other persons might have their personal interests, of which I'm not interested in. Now, the whole thing still centers to the fact that we are looking for justice, and there's no way we're looking for justice without looking at the events and the witnesses and those involved. I want to ask you a direct question now. Do you think Wunmi is guilty of any crime at all?
That question is an entrapment. I don't know who is guilty. I don't know who is innocent. Every motherfucker around Mohbad is a suspect. And until we shake the boxes, we dust it, me, nobody can vouch for anybody. The investigation is not done. We don't have the killers yet. So you asking me if I think, that's like asking me if I have an A-hole. Everybody's got an A-hole. Everybody's a suspect. So that's it.
Kule, can I answer that question? And I will answer it in my own way.
All right.
You see, when you said you think Wunmi is guilty, the way it's looking now, I'm going to answer it in another form. And I'm going to throw a question back at you. Kule, do you think the current regime of Nigerian police force, and the Lagos State government authority, do you think they are protecting somebody that has hand in the death of Mohbad?
Okay. Well, I might not have a direct answer to that, but something is certain that the authorities are not doing their job the way they should. That's certain.
So it's a no that you don't think, based on their actions, based on their attitude on this case, you don't think the authority is protecting somebody.
Well,
Now, don't you think, okay, now you said Wumi, don't you think Wumi or somebody is being protected in this case?
like I said.
Yeah? Why?
D, can you mute?
What's happened?
All right. So, like I said, one thing I strongly believe in this case is that the authorities have not really done a thorough job. And like I said earlier, before we escalated the whole thing, I said that I would not be blaming the family members for the situation that we are in now. I would not blame Baba. I will not blame Wumi. I will not blame anybody, because it is not their duty to grant justice to the people. It is not Baba's job to make sure that police do their job. It is not Baba's job to make sure that they look critically into all the forensics and this and that. It is not his job. It is not his duty. So it is the duty of the system to make sure that there is law and order. And there's no way you can have law and order if you don't have these executions. If you make injustice prevail, there will never be law and order. So when there is a crime, there must be a thorough investigation so that you can just bring all these criminals to book. But if that is not done, I will not say, Baba, he did not report this crime well. Wumi, the law should take all of them that are guilty and prosecute them. We have seen cases where a particular father of a child murdered his child. We have seen cases where a child murdered the father. So the law is very strict, it's very sacrosanct, and it's very germane, if I can use those words. You understand? But we need to understand that we should not blame the family for these crimes. And at the end of the day, when the Lagos State gave their report, or the police gave their reports, after Mohbad was buried, they did not give reports based on the report they got from the family. They gave reports based on what they saw online, that one particular guy has died, and they really need to look into it. And that was why they exhumed the body. So if they have exhumed the body, and at the end of the day, they are saying the autopsy will come out inconclusive. See, looking, if the pathologist, the government pathologist first, look at the body, he will be able to tell that, okay, we can establish, a forensic on this. And if the body has decayed and there's nothing to even work on at all, the pathologist must have advised that, I don't think this thing will result to anything. So it's better we just probably look elsewhere, this and that. And why till today has, from forensic not been done? At least when you do from forensic, you get to know, these people, conspired, call each other, perpetrated the whole thing together. You get them. But if these things are not done, it is not the duty of the family to look for justice for their, deceased. No, it is the duty of the government.
Kule, I totally agree with you on that aspect of duty of the family. Yeah, the family has no any duty to prosecute or to bring any evidence on Mohbad's case. It's the duty of the authority. Now, everybody on the panelists, because I'm going to prepare myself for the future. I know why I stepped down from the stage, because the noise is too much, and that's why I quietly stepped down. But I'm watching and gathering my evidence. Now, all of us, 5 of us or 6 of us here, are you people going to, is anybody here that is going to agree to the government judge, on Mohbad's case, on their final verdict? Because they had the wrong people charged to the court. Are you people going to accept their final judgment on Mohbad's case?
Good afternoon, African TV. I'm glad to hear that, you haven't defected and run away just like Yomi. But let's take Yomi's name out of the picture for now. Are we going to accept the verdict? Now, look, justice has been delayed already. And despite the delay of Bameshe's case, justice itself was served. So the assertion that justice delayed is justice not served, or whatever the case may be, when we kind of lay our utterances and our rhetorics, behind justice, and let's kind of understand that as far as the inquest is concerned, there's no process in any jurisdiction in entire world where there is a timeline on where the jury or the judicial process needs to be pushed to serve justice. We've had cases in England that have taken 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, wherever the case may be. So let's not be in too much a hurry, and let's not actually see this as a delay. Now, for me, the process itself is rogued, and I've maintained this since the inception. We will get a verdict. Now, you see, when we get a verdict, it's a verdict. It's just sort of like the inquest is not there to sort of like serve us justice. It's just part of the process. But this one is we want to find what bite more bad. And then what we're looking at is actually the cause of death. So cause of death does its own thing. Magistrate do their recommendation, and then they say, these are the codes from Prime Boy to Similarity, Naira Marley, and the rest of them. Now, back to your question, Susie. What we get is that justice. Now, we in our country, regardless of where we're seated right now, whether I'm in the UK, you in America, African television is in Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, we are just citizen, far-reaching, and then we engage globally. And these issues is what disturbs us, because these are shenanigans going on in within our jurisdiction. Now, because of the way things have been handled, it's not how long it takes. It's how long it takes. It's a verdict that actually cushion to support us, to kind of say that if they give a verdict and it's only 2 people that are culpable, well, we've got petitions, we've got all these people lined up. Instead, people are exonerated even before the final verdict of the inquest. We've got 3 people exonerated, pardoned, or whatever the case may be. So if those 3 people are pardoned, now, as far as we're concerned, everybody that gave a statement to the police are also more like in the clear if at the end of the day it's only 2 people that we have. Now, if it's only 2 people we have, then it actually means that we all have to accept that as a nurse, the nurse's mistake that actually fired the guy. So what they're trying to say to us is, the guy, obviously, we all need to be careful now when we're giving recommendations or commendations where applicable in our lives, on day-to-day lives. Like, for instance, I had a friend of mine who reached out to me and said, oh, you in IT and all that kind of stuff. I want to buy laptops in bulk. Do you know anyone? Do you know how I'm going to do it and all that? I engage with people, but I know what I'm going to say to him. My own disclaimer is, if I say to you that you can buy in bulk from Amazon, I'm 100% certain that they will give you warranty. I'm 100% certain that they will allow you to return a product that is dodgy. They will give you a year's warranty and all this kind of stuff. So it will be me giving recommendation that I believe in. So we end up in a situation where recommendation that is now going out is now saying everybody is okay, only these 2 people. But we don't have anything to reverse to. Simply because have we been shallow? Have we been misguided? Have we been what else can we do? Have we more like just sat there and just allow us carelessly not to focus on issues? Do we have the right lawyers in place? Are we trusting Baba's lawyer? Are we trusting the public lawyers? Are we trusting the government lawyers? We have trusted this government. We've tried everything. We've done nothing. We haven't challenged this government. Yomi has come and made his noise. There are no credible challenges in that process. It's just sort of like noise. When you look at a barrel and someone is inside it, and he's just screaming and shouting, it's just a tiny little maggot in a barrel trying to make noise, and we're thinking we can't hear you, and he's saying, yeah, give me the megaphone, we give you a megaphone, we still can't hear you. Because there isn't anything that we have placed with all the signs and all the people that we trust that can do petition, who can sign petition. And then, yes, recommendation is done, DPP, and then it goes in there. Oh, these two people are summoned to a higher court, and we're going to try them for whatever the case may be. They're going to throw the book at them. And now, are we now going to do what we did before, to go and bail the nurse and spending this time around as we did originally? Criminals have been locked up. And this is us in this process that actually allow Prime Boy to be exonerated, because it would have been left for him and his family to bail him out. But because of us trying to get the accolade, trying to get a trophy, we got something out of spending. We got something out of Prime Boy. And then we collected money and went in there to go and bail criminals out of jail. We bailed these people out with the view that they will tell us something. They will tell us something. So what do we have left? What do we have left?
Question, IT guy. Let me ask you a question. Now, let's assume after the whole thing, spending is giving 5 years, nurse is giving 5 years for something based on the government. And I said, okay, I come out and I say, Susie say, oh, based on the way government have handled this case, I have evidence on the government that they actually sentenced the wrong people on this case based on my evidence. And I want to appeal the government judgment on Mohbad case. Are you going to stand by me?
Let me talk, Susan.
No, let me finish conversation.
Wait,
sorry, African TV. I will stand by. You say they as it stands at the moment. The inquest is obviously got a position where representation is no longer allowed, but any valid information will still be welcome. But remember, we are not trying anybody. Nobody is actually of a criminal standing right now that are trying to defend themselves. We're just trying to find the cause of whatever the case may be. But I'm sure if there is any useful evidence, you see, the cause, if you find an evidence that can actually kind of lead the process to that position. But then if you want to do it at this juncture, given our jurisdiction, are you sure you want to risk your life to come up with something without people actually supporting you?
African TV, I think
you would have to have people to support you to be able to do that. And then who's going to support you? Yeah.
I think you got my question wrong. You see,
okay.
I'm going to let the government...
No, hold on, African TV. I want to get
that. I'm going to let the government play into our hands, okay? I'm not going to come up with anything now. If I have... Okay, let the inquest end their finding and let the trial. The trial is already beginning already. The next trial date is in July or so. Now, I'm going to let them, finish their case. And I think what we need to do, if you truly want to fight this fight, continue. In 2 years, in 3 years, we should follow the trial up and gather our evidence from what everybody, the nurse and the spending is saying. If I'm going to appeal Mohbad's case, it's not at this stage. is going to be at the end of the trial. So let's leave the government to play into our hands and pass their judgment, and we collect our evidence from everything that has happened from day one to today. And that's what we are going to use in appealing the case. Not now. I'm not going to come in. I'm not going to say a word, but I am going to keep watching. That's what I said.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, because whatever the case may be, you see, these people.
I want to drop. Let me just.
Yeah.
Let me add this.
Let me just give you just this one line. Spending and the nurse may actually have a trump card, and this time may not be the best time to do it. But when they are faced in a higher court and they know they're going down, perhaps they will open new cans of worms. We don't know.
Okay. I am on the government.
All right. Susan, please, give me 1 minute. What's going on here? Thank you. Now, you guys have two serious issue on the table. The first one from Kunle, who said something about not blaming the family. I want to put 1 minute on that, and I'll put 2 minutes on Susan's question. Kunle, the notion that people should not blame the family, please remove it from your mind. I don't comprehend where you're coming from, but if you look at it holistically and truthfully, without bias, the family has every blame. The weight of the blame of where we are rests completely with the family. Without the family, you wouldn't even be here. You probably wouldn't have a platform. Without the guessing and trying to do all this investigation, the family knows what happened to their child, their husband, their brother, their son. The family knows, and the family in all areas has failed to be transparent with the truth. So your notion that don't blame the family, let's throw that away. Now, Susie's question, would we support you? Me, I will not support you as much as I love you. I will not support you, and I'll tell you why. You live in America, and I'm going to say this based on American law. I don't know how it works in Nigeria, but you just gave me something to ask my lawyers. The point here is you are waiting for the government to make a mistake. You are waiting for the government to convict the wrong people. You are waiting for more innocent people to have sleepless nights and headache, only for you to now come at the end of the trial to bring any evidence that could set us in the right path right now. I don't agree with that philosophy. I will not support that school of thought. What I will support you, Susan, your current investigation, and anybody, meaning Susan, no, I'm using Susan because she raised the topic. Anybody out there, lifestyle, spending, whatever you are, wherever you are, any evidence that can be used to solve this matter. We have asked to give you 50 million. Lenchi has raised 15 million to at least support whoever brings the evidence. We don't need to wait for the government to make a mistake. It does not benefit Mohbad. It does not benefit you and everybody that is fighting for justice. We need evidence. We need it now. And we can take it and control it and manage it in a way that it will be used, it will get into the court, and we would stand as a public and defend our evidence at trial. But when the trial is all done and gone, you now begin to say the trial was in an error. Do you want them to convict two people for the same crime? So anything worth doing is worth doing well.
African TV, in the justice system of Nigeria, do they normally appeal case? Yes or no? Can the case be appealed?
Sorry, repeat that again.
In the justice system of Nigeria, can the case be appealed based on a wrong judgment?
Cases can be appealed all day. And let me tell you, for as many lifetime I've spent in the judicial system, some cases will be dismissed at appeal because that evidence was not produced at the time of trial. Go and check with lawyers.
Okay.
If you have evidence that could be wait, sister, wait. Go and check with lawyers, and maybe any lawyer in the house can come up. You can have a good case, a good appeal, and the judge will rule this evidence was not available, was not presented at the trial. So based on the existing evidence, the ruling stands. Now, if you, like what you're saying now, if they record you and you end up bringing anything after the trial, it could be used against you, withholding evidence.
No, so cannot. Number one, I am a public. I am a public, a volunteer public, a concerned citizen that is concerned for a following citizen to get justice, okay? And this case as a whole is the government that have this case, okay? Now, I am part of the government, okay? The government have not done the right thing now. So I have every right to say the verdict from the government. I disagree as a public. I disagree with their verdict, and I disagree with their investigation, okay? In the course of investigations, while the investigations was going on, there's a lot of public evidence out there, and the government is aware of it. They never jump into it, swing into actions, use the evidence outside there to work on the case. They ignore every evidence. So in this current situation, I'm sorry, whatever evidence I have, I will not give it to the Nigerian authority if I have evidence in my position. And the reason why, because they are not going to work with it. So I am going to leave them to play into my hand or to play into the public hand and pass their wrong verdicts and charge the wrong people on Mohbad's case. So, if you are saying, oh, I tender any evidence before or after the trial, they can use it against me. They cannot. I'm not part of their investigation.
Susie.
Yes,
Susie, I have a question for you.
Yes,
sorry. Let's assume that somebody you know, one of your relatives, assumption, please, sorry. Let's assume that one of your relatives is the person being taken to trial. Mm-hmm. And the person is convicted 5, 10 years, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And you have evidence contrary to what they are taking to trial. Would you let your relative be sentenced to 10, 20 years or life when the truth is in your hand? Would you hold it back?
Yes, because my relative in the question, if my relative in the question know exactly what happened and is playing along with the government, I will keep the evidence and let them, have you jail or have you sentenced for penny, for peanut, then I will come after you and the government. You see, this Mohbad's case is
You're speaking like this. You're assuming that the relative knows what happened. I heard you correctly. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm not assuming. Let's speak. Let's don't just assume. I'm saying that the nurse, the spending, they know what happened. And they are playing along with the government.
Wait, stop there. Let's take it one at a time. Prove to me that the nurse knows what happened and why the nurse is going to allow herself to be dragged to trial. Prove to me here in 5 minutes. How do you know that the nurse knows what happened?
I don't need to prove to you. They should search their conscience, okay? Those 2 people that are sent to trial now, they should search their conscience if they don't know anything about what came.
Let me give you news flash. Susan, let me give you news flash.
Yes, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, you leave it at that, but I want to give you news flash. I spoke with some people today. Do you know that there are people out there who believe that Adura was the person that the nurse gave injection and that Karimot was in that house on that day? That's information reaching me. So now you are assuming that the nurse knows the truth and the nurse is not speaking it. But there are also people who are assuming that it is Karimo that is the nurse, and there are people who are also assuming that Adura was Mohbad that was allegedly given injection. So there are so many assumptions going on, and the only way we can save anybody and everybody is to find the truth and present it timely. You see all this our talk, June 15th, they enter trial. If we don't tender evidence contrary to what they are taking to trial, we all lose. And nobody wants to be fighting from behind, because what you're saying, Susan, when they go and give wrong verdicts to the wrong people, you will now come up with you may come up with realistic and truthful evidence. Why do you want to come from behind when you can be in the front now?
I'm not bringing my evidence for the authority of Lagos State government to work on my evidence. My evidence is going to be against the authority of Lagos State government. No.
The authority is the police now.
Yes, the authority is the police. And I am against them, how they have handled this case. They are charging the wrong people. They are protecting the killer of Mohbad. I am against.
Let me pretend, my dear. Let me pretend. I'm going to speak to you as if I'm spending. Let me speak to you as if I'm spending, and I'll speak to you as if I'm the nurse. Madam Susan, as I love you, Rich, you cannot watch me go through the pain of trial and conviction as a nurse or as spending when you have contrary evidence that can save me. You cannot wait for them to send the wrong people to the gallows, and then you now come and say you had this all along. You were waiting for them to make mistake. So that's not fair.
Okay, African TV, we have fight for these wrong people. By right, Spendy is supposed to be in jail, coming from jail to trial. Okay, we the public destroy that. Prime Boy is supposed to be in jail, coming to jail to trial. We, the public, destroy that. This same nurse is supposed to be in jail, coming from jail for trial. We, the public, destroy that. So if I even have any evidence, okay, that will help the nurse and help the spending, no. Based on the pain this set of people has put us through, my evidence is not to help them. My evidence is to punish them more further.
Susan, your evidence is to save Mohbad's soul, to give Mohbad justice. All these pockets of justice are minor compared to the legend that we're fighting for. Okay, and when you say we, the public, that we let them go, me, AFTV did not donate 1 penny or support anybody that they were crying for. Now, the truth remains, the public is those who did that, and the public is those of us who are investigating and watching everybody. So you can't say we all did it. We all did not do it. But what you should do now is bring your evidence that you think will rope Prime Boy or spending or the nurse or even the real killer. The time is now. Justice delayed is justice denied. If you wait till they go and sentence wrong people for wrong charges, and you are holding the truth, that would not be fair to you, my dear.
Do you know why? Do you know why, if I even have evidence to to set the laws or spending free. Do you know why I will not give it at this point? Because this set of group of people has put us through pains.
Well, let's end the pain, Susan. Let's end the pain.
Yes,
bring the real evidence. Let's go to trial. Hey, Susan, Susan.
No. Wait. They are involved in manipulating these two people. They are involved in manipulating Mohbad's case to be the way it is. So they had to be punished for doing that. So
let me summarize what you're doing, Susan, and I'll drop because I need to go to the doctor right now. So this is what you're doing. You're frying small fish, and the big fish. A little cat is dragging the big fish away from your stove. You're focused on the small fish in the pot. When you're supposed to drop the big fish in the pot, so that when the dinner is served, we'll have a bounty, a belly full meal. Stop this ideology. If you have any network of evidence, if you're not comfortable bringing it forward, there are those of us who know they fear death, we know they fear jail. We will bring it forward. And we will make sure that it is loud. It is loud that no police officer, no judge, no courtroom can cover it up. That is the mistake we are making. When you loud your evidence, there will be no place to hide it. When you loud it, but when you're massaging it, they will go to court.
African TV. I can see the point Susie is trying to make. Now, so far, in this inquest, with all the CTC and the police statement, the only exhibit we probably have will be the syringe and the content of it, and that's about as far as it goes. Now, if whoever it is that have evidence that you know that the magistrates have a reason due to technicalities not to entertain certain piece of whatever it is as evidence, right? So you bring in something up, whether it's a notion, whether you think it's tangible, it can still be dismissed at this point in time, right? Okay, because we don't trust the process at this point, why don't we just allow this inquest to finish? Let them give their verdict. Let them take the people that they want to go and face the higher court. And then let's bring something fresh out into the open that is useful and tangible. And this time around, the magistrate is not there to dismiss it and not accept it as evidence. So there is a point in it. There is a point in it, from my point of view.
Okay, let me quickly respond to African TV based on when you responded to the part of the family. I want to reiterate and get this, to be on the safer side. Like I've always said, that the family don't owe us any justice. The family, Baba, Wumi, Mama Mohbad, Adra, none of them owe us justice. You understand? They don't owe us any justice. And it was not any of them that even make us to come online to start to analyze. In fact, it was the public that advised Baba that he should get a TikTok account and get to come live and, do certain analysis. You understand? So, you understand? So it was not the public at all that in any way. Sorry, it was not the family that in any way came into the line and started to say, okay, this is how we're going to do justice. Rather, we should be the one to be blamed by handing over the whole thing, to the family, by making them feel like as if they have the say, they have the final say. They're the ones that will give us the guides and the, precepts on what to do. So the family are not the ones to grant us justice, and we should not rely on them to get justice. Rather, let us go through the right channel. If we want to go through the police, let's go through the police. If we want to go through the courts, let's go through the judicial system. Do you understand? But we should not expect, the family, whatever they are saying is 100% is the truth. No. If the system was actually very okay, in fact, they would have fished out every lies that they have told in the past, and they would have, gotten us the right, facts that we should know. But right now, you can even see that, from what Baba said, there's a lot of contradiction. Do you understand? What he said in the beginning is different from what he's saying now. But then some people still analyze and still lie that, okay, he has been consistent. Whatever he's saying from the beginning is still what he's saying now. Meanwhile, there are two different things that he's saying. So that's my own.
Thank you. Only for clarification. Something just popped up in my mind. On Susie's position, a lot of people are saying, hold on to the evidence. To each his own. To each his own. I believe that any evidence that can get us justice now, that can reduce this stress and all this noise, should be brought forward, made loud, made public, so that it can be used at trial. That's my position. Now, for those who are believing that the nurse is the suspect that needs to go to trial, my mind has been thinking, if you're basing your conviction on the nurse, how do you justify the neck breaking? And how do you justify the blood that was found when they dug up when they exhumed Mohbad? Can somebody help me put those two
That's part of
in place and see how it correlates with the nurse as the guilty party? Because the way we're working now, nurse is the only person. Yes.
African TV. You just ask a question that you need to put in your pocket and watch. Yes, you just ask a question that
I don't enter your evidence.
Yes,
I don't enter your evidence.
You need to put in your pocket and watch the government how they're going to prosecute this case and end the case. So these are the things we need to be putting in our pocket. You just ask a question.
Sorry, I can't hear anybody. What's going on? Susie, you're still talking?
No, I'm done. I say you just ask a question that you need to put and save in your pocket and keep on watching.
I just enter your evidence room, Susie.
You didn't.
I enter your evidence room. It is well. It is well. We will get there one day.
Just on that particular point that she's trying to, the thing is that if you don't trust the police, you have to probably, you just have to trust the judicial system. Do you understand? That's why you can go through your lawyer to file a suit, and then your evidences can be presented in the court and it will be looked into. Do you understand? So if you feel, okay, the police, you can't trust them and this and that. So even if at the lower courts there's this dissatisfaction, you can still appeal. When it gets to the apex, then you feel like, well, you have actually pursued. There's no way at two different levels, then it will...
Kunle, my brother, sorry, I want to drop. Sorry to interrupt. What you're saying is what I've been trying to tell Susan. This thing can be handled properly in court and save us time and headache. I'll be listening in comment section. When I know verse, I beg. I need to run.
Can't TV before you go. There's no way when I don't trust somebody, I will carry my evidence and go and give to that person. No. I'm not going to give my evidence to somebody that I don't trust. One day you think the person that I don't trust will make use of that evidence. No, I can't. I'd rather pick up a case with that person that I don't trust than to give my evidence to him. I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay, you don't trust the judicial system too?
Based on what they have done so far in Mohbad's case, I don't trust them. So my evidence is going to be one-on-one. I'll pick up a case with them. They need to answer questions. Not me. Not me giving my evidence and they will destroy my evidence. No, I will not. I'm sorry.
See, the truth is that if you want to actually fight a case, then you have to go through the courts. Do you understand? And that is why in the courts, your lawyer, it is left for your lawyer to get to, cook a good argument to put the facts to the to this suspect, and then probably there can be a proper conviction. But we cannot presume that, okay, the judge or the court would sabotage.
The system now is our greatest enemy in this Mohbad's case. The authority of of Lagos State Police Force and the Lagos State government itself, they are our enemy in this case, not even the killer of Mohbad.
So you cannot categorize. Yes. You cannot categorize the courts.
This is me, this is me, and this is the way I'm seeing it. And the angle I'm looking at it from, it might be different than the way you are looking at it, but the angle I am looking at it from, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to go there and stand by myself. I'm going to have a lawyer that will stand with the government. The Lagos State Authority, they have mishandled this case, and they should tell us the reason why they decided to do that.
So yeah, tell me one thing they did to mishandle the case.
Kule, I'm not going to start telling you what I have, okay? What I have against the government. I don't fight like that. The fight of Mohbad is not between me and anybody on the street of TikTok. It's between me and the authority of Lagos State government. They know what they have done. They know how they have connived to destroy Mohbad's case. If Mohbad don't get the right justice he deserved. So, I'm going to leave it at that. When the time comes, we'll pick up the fight with them.
Okay, so, Kunle, just a quick one, do you cannot trust the police well enough to believe that the police have been truthful, they've been dutiful and diligent enough to assist the inquest? Do you actually believe in their practices in this process in terms of investigation, in terms of, due diligence? Do you kind of believe that they will be supportive enough to believe that they have substantial information to assist the inquest?
Okay, well, the thing is, from the beginning, we have stated clearly that the police did not do their job the way they should, and definitely that's a no-no. However, we expected certain, strategy to be applied in this case, whereby if the police don't do their job, then there can be other persons or other, units that we can patronize. That at the end of the day will still, get back to justice. But at the end of the day, the whole thing was sabotaged by the families that are supposed to even be, pursuing this thing even more than we are concerned. So definitely, I don't trust the police. I don't believe in them. Do you understand? But I still believe that legally, there's still a way that if we apply certain strategy, we'll get something out of this case.
And do we have evidence of sabotage by the family? Do we have any known evidence that can actually lead us to believe that the family have sabotaged this case in any form or shape?
Okay, well, that is obvious and it's evident that, there has been a lot of misconceptions and a lot of lies that has been told. And that is misleading the public, misleading the people. Do you understand? Misleading, like you're misleading people. Something happened, you are reporting contrary to what happened. So that's a sort of sabotage, because I don't know if you're trying to set the public up for I don't know, because I don't know what the intention is. But that's obviously trying to justice when you have the fact. But if you don't have the fact, that means you're not pursuing justice. So in as much as the fact is not available to the public, then there's no way we can pursue the justice. But if we have the fact with us, it is easy for us to, get persons that we are dealing with, then, pursue the case at the right quarters. It will be easier for us to get to our destinations. But if the family members are lying to us, you can't tell me that they really mean well or they even want justice in the beginning. At least we thought that the only person we thought the only person that was looking for justice is Baba. But at the end of the day, after playing his, throwback video on YouTube now, then we have seen that he has actually lied to us. Do you understand? He has actually lied to us. So definitely, that does not, portray that kind of justice thing,
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of believe that in any sort of like malignment of the cause of justice, when we don't really have credible evidence, but we have kind of evidences that we've made up as members of public in our own online magistrate court, and we have all these notions and all these beliefs, but we can't substantiate any of it to actually believe that these people have done anything at all to hamper the cause of justice. Why? The lawyers are there for a reason, and the magistrate is there. They have their own procedures within the system, who to call to play. When the driver came out and did his CTC, came out, got interviewed, and all that kind of stuff, we all got excited. But that was actually done outside the court. It wasn't sort of like something that we can rely on unless the CTC is out and we actually know what a statement is. So as it stands at the moment, it's still the same process where we make up our minds, we pass judgment outside the process, and we just need to be careful to kind of use, every statement of the family have been in whichever way, collusion or they have lied. Well, the thing is, whatever it is in a
like Susie said,
is that's what you believe to be the case. Whether it's a pack of lies or not, the lawyers are there, the system is there, the process is there. Someone then needs to come out and ask the right questions. We have all this situation where we're throwing sands at it, and these sands cannot even ask credible question in court. So this is an inquest. A miscarriage of justice may actually happen in the process if people are telling pack of lies. We have lawyers in there who should be advocating on behalf of the deceased, but it seems as if they're protecting Mr. Joseph Aloba instead. So are they asking credible questions? Are they coming to the gallery to actually ask questions and grill these guys? Yeah, we're not trying to catch you out, but we need to actually get the fact. And if you're going to get the fact based on evidence and based on what people have actually put down in their statement, are the lawyers asking the right questions? If the lawyers are not asking the right question, what is that got to do with the public or the family? It means that the system is robbed from the inception, because why should the key representation of this whole cause be protecting Joseph Aloba? Why don't we have a public lawyer? I really care whether people are saying you are radical or not, asking the right question about, every aspect, every stones you can find, flip it over. Don't leave any stone unturned. And it's not happening. We're just getting drama. We're just getting Nollywood script. We're just getting Nollywood, badly manufactured Nollywood sensation at this inquest. So, it is easy for us to kind of say that people are lying, but there isn't really anything to question these people whether they are lying or not. We asking you a question, you are talking about placenta, it happened there. We're asking you a question, you're saying you are hungry, you want to go and eat, you're about to die or faint. At this bloody inquest, all manners of shenanigans Adura also waves something out to say it's Joseph Aloba that instructed them to put salt on the chest and all this are the same thing. And we have Sam Sheets saying nothing, asking no question, not even saying old Adura to it, because Joseph Aloba is as guilty as they come. Because it's him they're trying to protect. It's him that lost his son. It's him that the public that donating this money don't want to go to jail, because, you know, if he is indeed the father of the deceased, then you can't tag anything to him. And the kind of question they should be asking, we know he's your son, but you did wrong to have actually moved the body. It's a question. You did wrong when they told you to take the body to another jurisdiction. You didn't do that. So those lawyers should squeeze his balls, get him to speak, and if he needs to bring anybody out and speak his truth properly as he knows it, then they need to push him to do that. And it's not happening. We're having an inquest. The inquest is like having a party. It's like having a bonanza where people just dress up, put on their makeup, go in there. Mama Onigala is outside. Mama Onirice is outside. When the inquest is sort of like having a break, they go and have issue, will go and drink some gulda and come back into the court. And if the magistrate is awake, otherwise generator is run out of petrol. Nonsense, bloody shambles of our judicial process. The giant of Africa cannot resolve a simple homicide case of children messing about in a kindergarten sandpit. The giant of Lagos, the state that Jagaban of Nigeria built single-handedly, the Lagos that Jagaban created, is a mess, a complete and utter mess. And we're looking for justice. There ain't gonna be no bloody justice. There's just gonna be a verdict. Take it or leave it.
Well,
I rest my mic.
Yeah, see, you have just nailed the whole thing, and I don't think we can have any other fact than that. And that's why I said we need to hold the system, you know, for not doing the right thing, because, you know, to go and pass a judgment that, okay, this is who killed the son, and then you are sentenced to life imprisonment, or you're sentenced to, whatever execution. So at the end of the day, it is the system that would actually prevail, and then all the criminals should be brought to book. You understand? But now, to Susie, I know you're probably working on a particular, number of evidence so that you can use it against the government. Well, I don't want to preempt the process. I don't want to make it kind of pessimistic, But, well, I believe you're working with a lawyer, and I believe that, you get all the proper legal guidance, and the right thing would be, advised. So, well, I hope something good comes out of it. But at the end of the day, we are stuck in this particular point. And
you see, Ulemai is the way the government has handled this case is my problem. Okay? And if we don't expose them at the end of this Mohbad case, it's still going to continue. Another person is going to be killed the way Mohbad is being killed. And Paddy will enter it, and it's going to be still end up the way Mohbad's own is going to be ending. So we need to expect the government. This is what they have done. Am I doing it to say, oh, they must give Mohbad justice? No. I want to do it to point out where they have failed we the citizen? And is that what we as a country, Nigerian, or is that what our justice system stand for? Is our justice system just only for the elite, or is our justice system is only for the people that have a name brand? Okay, then the government will have to tell us. We had to, at the end of this Mohbad's case, we need to force them to put a lot of things into law, because a lot of things that has happened on this Mohbad's case that is against the law of Nigeria as a country. So a lot of things need to be done.
Okay, let me assist you, Susie. I think what you're actually trying to do, or what you're looking for, or let me say, from my interpretation, what suits what you're demanding now is a kind of revolution. Maybe
yes, a kind of revolution, and the kind of way they have handled Mohbad's case is a no. Because from the family I come from, if Mohbad is the member of my family, I don't think anybody in that country will handle Mohbad's case like that. If Mohbad is from Tinubu's family, I don't think the government would have handled Mohbad's case like that. If Mohbad is from Falana's family, I don't think anybody would have handled Mohbad's case like that. The government would have handled Mohbad's case like that. If Mohbad is from Iyabojo and Polo's family, I don't think they would have handled Mohbad's case like that. Okay? So, the government is not being fair for the average Nigerian citizen. And Mohbad happened to be a victim. Because the way they have handled his case is a total no. No citizen deserves to be killed, or no citizen deserves to be ordered to be killed the way Mohbad was ordered to be killed. No. They know. They know what I'm talking about. The government know what I'm talking about. They know.
All right. Well, I agree with you to some extent. And we are, at the end of the day, we are saying the same thing. And the same thing we are saying is that it is the system that needs to work for us to have, justice served, in any case at all. Does not matter who is actually in the case, or who is actually the complainant, or who is the defendant, or whatever. What we need to get is that, okay, what the law says is that if you do this, then this will happen to you. Then only if that can work, then that's when we can have a sane country. Now, like I said, what needs to be done now is a kind of revolution. And if if we're having a kind of judicial revolution, it will affect every sector, every part of the country. Do you know? Because there's no way a country can thrive economically if the judicial system is, in shambles. It's not going to work now. I mean, people want to come and invest in a country that there's no any, justice system, because they believe that the court can just clamp down on their property tomorrow now and tell them that, okay, based on our laws, this and that, then we are taking over your facility, this and that. So you're probably scaring away investors. You are scaring away, people, capitalists and business people that can, come and bring a lot of fortune to your land. Do you understand? So getting a revolution into the judicial system, it's something that is actually broad, and it's something that is not going to be done, easily, or just probably in a short form. No, there has to be a lot of orientation, and there has to be a lot of protest, a lot of showdown, a lot of different activities, just to make sure that this whole thing is actually implemented. So we can see what we're facing in the country, even when there's elections, this and that. You see how it will be manipulated. And recently, I think last week, a particular professor was actually convicted of rigging election for the Senate President Akpabio. Now the man is going to jail. But the person when they ring election for is enjoying his stay and his tenure and is enjoying his life as the number 3 citizen of the country. So you see where the whole thing is coming from. It's not just for Mohbad. It's actually broad. It's all over the whole place. It's all over the whole place. So if there's going to be a revolution, it will come from top to bottom. So it's something that it has to be done by a force, a set of comrades, and it will be a very serious movement. Not be TikTok comrades, or not be people where you go see them today, you no go see them tomorrow. These are a set of activists that are going to stand their ground, and even come rain, come sunshine, then they can pay, and they will face it head on. So I believe, I hope that this country will get better, hopefully, if we do the right thing someday, because the only right thing is for us to fight back and claim back what is ours, like some activists have done in the past. But unfortunately, recently now we have maybe just 1 or 2 activists in the whole country. So may God help us as we help ourselves. So that's that. So Susie, you might want to start an NGO too. Probably. Do you need an NGO?
Susie, very, very, very big question, because as much as a lot of us have been there since the inception, you've been more like how can I put it? Very involved at a very high level in the process, from the inception. So, what do you kind of think about San Shitu? Do you like him? Is he useful? Is he going to help this cause as far as the inquest is concerned?
You are seeing me, IT guy. Is that my question? Is that my question?
Yeah, that's for that. Yeah, that's for you. That's for you. Yeah.
Okay, you see, I'm going to be truthful. You see, Sanshitu is a government lawyer, okay? He's not going to choose his contracts that he get from the government in millions, over 10 million naira, 10 million naira, and jeopardize his relationship with the government, okay? So, he's going to dance, swing to the position of the government, and that is going to be his angle of where he's going to stand for Baba Mohbad. So, did I trust him? No. Did I believe he's going to do the right thing? No. Based on his relationship with the government. So, that's it. And as far as I'm concerned, he's been planted there from government to do what he needs to do. So, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand. The thing is, it's just sort of like sometimes useful to get people's opinion, because it's not just sort of like labeling and name calling and all that kind of, or being dismissive. And sometimes it's kind of useful for us to know where people stand. And as you said, this is a government boy. This is someone who's probably been part of the government before, has worked on behalf of the government, and then is the man that we now need to rely on to assist the public, to give us what? What exactly do we expect this guy to bring to the table? And, some of my concerns, my major concerns, is always the fact that this guy doesn't actually seem as if he's there to look for justice for anybody, but just to protect not the public, not to assist the public, but to protect Joseph Aloba himself. I mean, that is my take on it. I will never say differently, because I just can't understand why a senior lawyer, a son, a well-respected lawyer in the land, who who obviously is romancing the government as it stands, and if they've decided to manipulate the process, and he can't actually advocate on behalf of the deceased, why should the public actually trust this guy to believe that he has anything useful? I've never really seen any video, heard any audio of any form or shape that can put this guy in a spotlight to actually believe that this guy is actually a senior advocate. I'm sorry, I haven't seen one. And the one I saw the last time, oh my God, it's so disgusting. It just goes to show, as we said at the beginning of this process, it's not the number of sands you throw at a case, but sometimes you can just bring a junior lawyer with a bit of common sense. We'll just go in there, ask the right question. Maybe if we had the other two lawyers, Bankole and Smith, or whoever the case may be, maybe if they came early to the party, it will be a different situation. Maybe he needs to be schooled by those type of lawyers. You know, it's not how radical you are that we're talking about, but it's just that, you know, we rub minds, and at the end of the day, he can still be the spokesman, but he is surrounded by people with common sense, because I don't think he has common sense. Because I think someone who cannot even interpret aspect of the simple medical terms and medical logic, and then got things twisted in his head, and then interpreted it like a schoolboy that he is. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes I don't even understand when these people sit in their chambers, whether it's akbeteshi or it's ogogoro they are consuming, or it's a bit of kolos or a bit of Igbo. I don't understand. And they just come up with all this nonsense. And this guy, at these late hours, is still coming in, sounding confused to say the least. Confused.com. Last minute confusion. He doesn't even understand what he's reading. He can't even interpret medical terms logically and coherently. But yet, at the end of the day, you know, if the course of being a legal professional is too much for you, just take a gardening holiday or just retire all the same. It's not compulsory that if you're losing your marbles, you then have to go in there and mislead the public and just sit in there and just play to the godlike gallery. Unless someone just believes that he's the best we've got. He's a son. What a sand pit. What a sand pit. Some shit. Anyway. I rest my mind. The guy just gets on my nerves anyway.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say through this before, I wanted to ask African TV something, based on his assertion, of which I do not believe, or I don't want to believe until there's something, a sort of explanation to that. But before I go to that, every lawyers, like we have said severally, acts according and within the interest of his or her client. So whenever a lawyer is not doing a particular thing, or a lawyer is doing a particular thing, that means that is what the client has actually instructed or is interested in. So I think we should not expect too much from the lawyer. Rather, we should check the client that, okay, so, we don't have to really, like myself, that's what I believe, you understand? So I don't know for others. But then I want to ask African TV about the allegation of arrest, that he arrested Yomi and Yomi is on bail. I don't think somebody who is on... Okay, the first thing is, why was he arrested? For what? Is somebody fighting for justice now? And number two, somebody that is on bail, can he travel out of the country? African TV, please, there needs to be a light on that, please, because I can't believe that.
So, Kunle, Now that I believe that African television and Yomi settled the school, do we not want to believe that both of them would have dropped any form of case they have against each other? Is that correct or not?
Well,
unless African television says anything contrary to that, because I know that we did some settlement and all that kind of stuff, and it was actually told.
There was no settlement. Huh? The next hour or the next few hours, I saw one of them was already on his platform again, saying all sort of things.
So, but was it after you remember the first one was on Lenchi's platform?
Yeah.
And then the second hearing, that I thought that the entire score was settled properly was on Paparano's platform. So are you saying it was after the engagement on Paparano's platform that is development?
No. Before the one on Paparano platform. So that's why I need him to clarify when did he allegedly initiate the arrest, and why did you arrest him for what? Because this is totally an injustice that from day one, I always stand against injustice. Why was he arrested? Is it because of the cause of injustice for mobile? Then that is wrong. If he has not done anything personal to you, and the same way we actually criticize him for initiating a suit against you in the first place, that no, we cannot start to take things too far. People can criticize each other, but we don't want to start, pursuing each other personally. Do you understand? So, but if he says he has arrested him, of which I don't want to believe, but if he has explanations to that, do you understand?
No, I just kind of believe, obviously, African TV will shed more light on the situation. But I just kind of thought that they decided to call everything quits after Paparano's platform, because originally the whole case wasn't settled properly because of Karimo's claims and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that they both agreed that they will withdraw whatever case they have against each other, and that would just be the end of it. So if that is the case, then there's no two ways about the fact that no one is declared wanted. And if you released on bail, and it's not a felony offense, there may still be condition that will allow you to travel, I believe. It won't be that you can't travel. It just means that you need to let the authorities know if you have any travel plans, and they can look at it logically and allow you to do what you need to do. But yeah, you are right about the fact that we need to, the public need to understand what the second engagement on Paparano's platform is, not just based on outcome that we believe that to be the case, but for them to actually be emphatic and let us know that it's all gone. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, thank you. Susie, I believe you know about this whole arrest of the thing.
You want African TV to come and tell you more about the arrest of Break the Silence. Are you going to start this week with African TV and Break the Silence? Is that what you want to start the week with? Because whatever that today, if African TV come up and says anything now, you just know that Yomi will come up to come and give a clap to it. And what are we going to do? We're going to use the rest of the week talking African TV and Yomi again. Do you want to go into that?
Don't get it twisted. He has actually said now, and everybody heard, about 140 people heard, when he said that he arrested Yomi.
We bluff it. He's gone with it. Do you want him to come back?
No. I want a clarity, because people are there and people will start to carry narratives about. So there needs to be a clarification. Probably he was joking and he just tried to put that in between. That's why I was asking that. Okay, he needs to, I forgot. I didn't know where he left. I have that question in mind just for him to clarify before he leaves, so that people will not start to carry rumor about. Do you understand? So it is okay if he was just probably joking. And if it is actually true, then he needs to, kind of set the record straight. Because when there was a suit, when there was a suit against him, we started a kind of advocacy in support of him that no, why would you sue somebody who is fighting justice? Why would you try to arrest somebody who is fighting justice? So the same thing applies if he's actually saying the truth. Do you understand? So we're not one side. We're not, we're not trying to be blinded here. Understand? So whenever there's anything wrong or we probably don't agree with, then we have to state then that okay, no, this is wrong or this we don't agree with. So I'm not like setting up a kind of drag for any of them, no. But I'm just wanting clarity. Do you understand? I'm just wanting clarity so that we can all be on the safe side. Because people go carry out.
I understand you, but for me, you see, some of those dragging is tiring, is irritating. You understand? So for me, I would like to avoid anything, that because they can go dirty when they start. And well, if that's what you want, then African TV will need to come up and
Yeah, and I think then you were advising him not to talk too much on that. Maybe there was a reason why.
Yeah, because it's beginning to jump on another person's foundation. The next thing now, the person will turn on the life. Wahala will start from then. Trouble again for the whole of the week. So mind your business. The sky is so big. Fly different way. Fly to east and north. Nobody will go to west. So for me, that's the way I operate.
Okay. Well, we want peace. The only thing we want is peace, and we have always advocated for that. And I think I also support that because even me myself, I don't want wahala, like I've always said. But if anybody brings wahala to you, you should not hesitate to fight the person. So somebody will not bring wahala to you, and you want to start to smile. You can't be curtailing that kind of thing. Man, the Supreme.
Good morning, everybody. How do you do? Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
How are we? Kule, it's been a long time. How are you?
To, come alive today.
Yeah, it's necessary. What's up?
Yeah, we're good.
What's the topic? Nigerian judicial system?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What can we say about the judicial system? We just have to keep praying for our judicial system, that's all. Will we get there someday?
Just prayer.
Abi? Abi now. We pray and we do the right thing.
We have been praying since days of Tafawa Balewa and Azikiwe.
What can we do? Tell me good afternoon to you too, my darling. Good afternoon.
Okay, let me just ask you a question like I've asked, every other person. Now, between these options, okay, there are two questions actually. First, between these options, who would you want to hold for this whole Mohbad issue or his demise? Who would you want to hold responsible? First option, Baba Mohbad. Second option, Mama Mohbad. Third option, Umi. Fourth, Adura. Fifth, the government.
I'm going to hold Wumi responsible.
Okay.
And this is my rationale for doing that. I have a rationale. I just don't do things. I have a rationale for doing what I do. This is going to be my rationale. The Bible says a man will leave his family and be cleave to his wife, and they will become one. One. And Wumi herself said, Atoku ataye Mohbad eminimoni. you know. So therefore, I will say that the primary responsibility is Wumi. If God forbid anything happens to Davido now, God forbid, the first person that we ask will be Chioma. Okay? Because the closest to you is always your spouse. The closest to you. Not even the children, because the children will grow up and they will live their separate lives and be